can focus your way. Algorithm shifting, platforms on the move. We track the updates, keep you in the groove. Marketing, tech, and the tools of the trade. Social Surge is live, and we're here to get paid. Social media for the Creek crowd. We turn up the
Good morning, everyone. Going live over on the gram. Welcome to Social Surge.
Good morning.
I think I like this one the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one. We'll have to come up with some other ones.
Okay.
You're getting pretty good at it.
Starting to.
All right, good morning. It is Social Surge. I am Mo Regalado over there, and down below, if you're watching on IG, is my ride or die, my boo, what the heck, Hector Regalado. And today on the Surge, we are talking about something that is coming up quite a lot for a lot of people in commercial real estate. And if you're not familiar, then we'll explain it. But should you or should you not start a school community? So you want to start a school group. And what we're going to go through is what it really takes. Hector and I both have experience with school groups. We have our own. We've talked about it here, Social Mastery VIP. And you guys are more than welcome to join the group. It is a free group. We talk about the whole marketing ecosystem. And as I do more and more webinars, the actual webinars will be accessible in the school group. So that's something to think about if you wanted to start looking at that. But I guess we talk about building audiences. I talk about building a community, right? I'm very big on building your social community. Communities, yeah.
They've evolved, right? They've evolved so much, starting off with Facebook and now, progressively went from one platform to another, and then now Skool itself. And now there are other platforms that do similar groups. And it's about building those communities, right?
Yeah. It's interesting when you build a community almost by accident. I have, good morning, Jake. I have built community before. I've built communities before. Again, this is on back 2016, 2017, built a 11,000 member Facebook group. Grew it to 11,000 members, got fired immediately after we literally hit the 11,000 member mark. We had a party we did a live, and I think we gave stuff away, and then 2 hours later I got fired. But the point being is that building community is, what is it about? Well, one, you have to have something that everybody's willing to be around, right?
Yeah.
And when we're talking about social media, I do get this question quite a lot from brokers. You build this huge audience, but then what do you do with it, right? And we've discussed the fact that your audience can disappear at any given time, and how do you monetize that? Really is what it comes down to. And I don't want to be mercenary and just talk that it's all about money, but if you have, say you have a following of 15,000 people on Instagram, how are you monetizing that? Are they purchasing something from you? And can you take your knowledge, your skills, your effort, and put a dollar value on that, and then, be able to not necessarily have passive income. It's not passive, but
not 100%.
But I mean, the things you're already talking about. It's the community that you're already building, and now you're just making some money off of there. Right.
Right.
And people ask, should I start a school group? And it doesn't have to be school. School was just the easiest. There's and of course I'm going to blank on the other communities. There's actually, I think there's one that's called community.
Right. Well, like high level has their own within the CRM. You can create a community there, and it's very similar to Skool in the functions and everything. You can put courses, you can do lives, you can do all kinds of stuff. Same thing as Skool. So there are a lot of new platforms popping up.
Right.
That are doing similar. Some of them are more focused on, let's say, selling products and things like that. Others are designed to be more like Skool, which is everything under the sun, right? If you have an idea, if you have, like you were saying, you have a community online and you want to move it over into something a little more focused on what you do, what you talk about, and have that like-minded audience discussing those things, discussing those types of ideas, then that it's there for you.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I like about what Skool does differently than, and again, I haven't been in many other community groups in the last couple of years. So I'm just putting that out there. What I like about what Skool does is the gamification of how everything, you tap into points leaders and stuff like that. And people are competitive by nature. And so, I mean, some are more so than others. But, if you look at good morning, Judy, who's joining us over on the gram, we're talking about, should you start a school group? You can look at the Whova app. So for CREI Summit, we use the Whova app, right? And I'm always fighting for points on there. I'm actually at like the bottom of the leader list right now. I think Scott Savacool is number 1 currently on the Whova app. And I, I've got to get my numbers up. I got rookie numbers right now. But gamification, right? And so Skool, obviously allows you to have community discussions. You have courses, you have classroom content. You can have events and calendars, and there's recurring memberships. And there's multiple ways that you can build your school group. You can have a free version, then you can have a paid version, and then you can do pretty much anything you want with it. I know Hector and I are part of a couple of groups. One of them I'm involved in is an AI group. I want to say he's got probably 25,000 members just in the free group, right? And then he has a paid group that I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure he's making very good money, charging $50, $60, $80 a month to be a part of this group. And, if you have 1,000 members at $80 a month, I don't think you'd sneeze at that, right?
No, definitely not. No. And so the layers are the free, the paid, but then you also have a third tier that you can throw in there, right? And a lot of people are starting to use that. And that's a rather new add-on to Skool where you can create your mastermind group in there, right? A more private. So obviously the free tier is going to be the largest portion of your school group. Then it comes down a little bit to the paid, and then it comes down even more for that last tier. And a lot of the school groups are using that last tier to be more almost a one-on-one type situation where you're giving more time to the members than anything else, right? And they're paying for your time. They're paying for your
expertise.
Your expertise, right? You're the subject matter expert, and that's what they're coming to those school groups for, is to hear what you have to say on those specific things. And it's becoming a very is it lucrative? Very, but it's becoming when Skool first came out, it was an oddity, right? It was like, people like Hormozy or Gary V. They started their groups, and of course they flourished. They grew.
Well, I think,
Um,
hold on. Let me jump in real quick. I think the reason why it was considered an oddity is because we already had Facebook groups, and Facebook groups were so, like I said, I've run Facebook groups. I've been in, I think we've all been in many Facebook groups, but when I don't think people appreciate what it takes to run a free group, right? There's a lot. I mean, I literally had a second job running that Facebook group.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
only was I managing all the social media for this one company, but then I had this other job where I was monitoring and policing this Facebook group, because we would get people in there that didn't like the product, and so they would stir shit up, right? And so I would have to go and delete comments. There's a lot of time and effort, and a lot of thankless time and effort that goes into that. So being able to monetize it was important. And then also with Facebook groups, people have successfully monetized Facebook groups. However, that being said, it goes against the terms of service. And as we saw with Jonathan Mast, who has a free Facebook group of like, I don't know, like 200,000 members or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
he got kicked.
It's huge.
It's huge. And he got kicked out of his own Facebook group by Facebook.
Yeah. Right. And that's what you got to deal with when you're working with platforms like Facebook, is that you don't know if you're going to be removed, and then how do you get access back into your own group, even if you do have all the ID requirements and everything else that they want you to, how do you prove that you're the owner? Well, it's me. It's my name. It's my group. I've had it since, right? And that is kind of frustrating when it comes to those Facebook groups, that you can get.
Yeah, and it's basically it boils down to, like we've talked about before, if the product is free, you are the product. For Facebook groups, you never know what's going to happen, and you can always be kicked out. Somebody can hack your stuff and steal it. Judy says, Joe Fingerman, thanks for joining. We're talking about, should you start a school group? Judy says, I had a 2,000 plus group on Facebook and never monetized it. I also had a woman reach out and inquire. Oh, wow. What did you do, Judy? Now you've got me questioning, like, whoo-hoo-hoo, what did you do? So Judy, like, one of the things I probably would have discussed with you if we had ever discussed this, that you had a 2,000 women Facebook group, doing events, doing like wine tasting, or doing community groups outside of Facebook itself, and then using it that way to grow your network and grow your community even more. That would be one of the things that I would have suggested. In fact, I worked with a woman who did exactly that. She is a yoga instructor, and she started doing events. So we had her community that we built up, and then from the community, we would promote these events. Oh, it was during the pandemic, and it was centered around fitness. Okay, that makes sense. Wow, is it still active? Like, that would be interesting to go back there and see what everybody's doing, and then just kind of update them on what you've been doing, and you never know what connections you can make. But that's what we did with her group, is that we started doing these yoga retreats, and then of course the people in the group got all of that information, and then people would show up to the events, and then they would get involved in the group. It's just like, it's a beautiful synergistic thing, right? Judy says, I did virtual workouts because I gained a belly during the shutdown. My God.
So here's another aspect of the community groups, right? They're huge, right? Some of them are really big. And what they're starting to do, because right now people want to do a lot of live interactions, and I'm not talking about Zoom, I'm talking about in-person interactions
in real life.
These groups are now starting to get together, and they're meeting in wherever, whatever city, whatever place, and they have these huge get-togethers once a year, right? I'm part of quite a few school groups, and they always promote at least one event that, hey, we're getting together. Like there's a guy that I've been with for past 3 years, I think, out of San Diego, and he does these once a year events, and everybody goes down to San Diego because, of course, why does he have to go anywhere? Because it's San Diego.
So are you telling me we're going to San Diego? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, we are going to San Diego, but not for that. But yeah, I mean, so a side aspect of these groups is that they're doing these live in-person get-togethers, not just online, and the communities are thriving because of it.
Yep.
They're growing because of it, and it's really good.
Well, and what I think also that we need to look at is that these groups provide value. Not only do they provide value in the knowledge that the person who started the group is sharing, but then the actual community itself provides value. Yeah. That's one of the things I love about growing communities is the fact that when you have people who are raving fans, who are your diehard, will always build you up, it's great to have them interact with one another, because it's just like it's a beautiful thing, right? I remember, like I said, I mentioned in a prior show that after I got fired, I was accused of having a cult, the cult of Mo, and and this was from one of the guys I worked with, which was awesome. Just thanks, buddy. I thought we were friends. And I did end up having a group of people who left that group. They joined a new group, and I was a part of it. And we actually, the group still exists today. But out of that group, I had like 6 admins that helped me run the other one before I got fired. And 3 of those admins I still talk to every single day. And we've been talking since 2017. Yeah. We talk online. I've met one of them in real life. She's come out and stayed here. And then she's met the other 2 of the group. They all went to a concert together. Cult equals culture. You had a tribe. Judy, I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah, Judy, I apparently wasn't a fan because I wouldn't do their work, but that's another story. So what's interesting though is, like I said, like, I mean, we're almost 10 years later and we still talk. And by talk, I'm not talking talk. We snap. We moved from Facebook Messenger over to Snapchat probably 5 years ago. And so we snap every single day. Somebody's snapping. We've been in each other's lives for births, for deaths, for major surgeries, for divorces, right? Like, so I have this group of people that, I've been connected with for damn near 10 years. And I couldn't imagine like not being connected to them. I can't imagine not having them in my life. And this all started from a Facebook group. So right. When we talk about building community, and we talk about getting to know people, this is where you can take those relationships that you started online, and yes, it's still online in a some type of group, right? School or otherwise. And those relationships become really, really valuable. And we need to start thinking that community isn't just another marketing channel. It's an actual business. And how do you make that viable? So why should you monetize?
Okay. Why? Tell me.
Well, there's probably a lot of reasons why you should monetize. A lot of us give our information out for free. Right. And if we're already teaching and already creating a community, why not be able to make a little bit from it?
Right. And back to the people that are in the group, right? Part of that knowledge comes from them as well, right? Building those communities and you're having those interactions. Everybody benefits from it. And the success that they get from these groups And here's the big part of it, right? The success is celebrated.
Mm.
It's celebrated, and it's not looked. We've had people comment sometimes like, you're just looking at the money. Well, you're not just looking at the money, you're looking at the success. And when you are celebrating somebody else achieving something that you were able to mentor them in, or to show them in how to do something, and seeing them succeed, right? Seeing them flourish with what you've taught them, it's massive, right?
Yep.
And it's not just one individual that's succeeding, it's the whole community, it's the whole group. So, why should you monetize? Well, right there, you want to see people succeed. And if that's your goal, right? If that's the end game for you when you create these groups, then it's huge. It's a win for everybody. It's not a win for an individual, it's a win for the entire community.
Right. And so one of my big things is, I've been doing this a long time. I give away a lot of information about marketing. I know that most people aren't going to take my advice on it, but there are some people who do actually want to learn, and I don't mind teaching, but I also have a business to run. So I need to be able to in my mind, I need to be able to justify spending the time, taking the time and effort to share what I've learned over the last umpteen years,
Right.
and create course. Like I laugh because Hector and I will sit down and we'll start talking about something. We're like, oh, this would be a great course. This will be a great school group. This will be, oh, you're like, this needs to go. We have all this stuff that we've made over the years that we put on our website. We, sent out an email, but now it's like, okay, just put it in the school group. Just drop it in the school group.
Right.
I have in our school group right now, I have a free resource that I made a couple weeks ago, and it's actually based on a conversation that I had with a client, and it's how do I find it's all based on how do you find videographers and photographers to work in your area when you need them, right? And so I created an entire guide after having a conversation with a client, like, these are the steps that I take. This is what I do. This is how we evaluate. This is the process. This is what we put in our contract. These are the deliverables. This is when I expect them. And so I ended up creating that document for a client, sent it over to the client, and was like, you know what, this would be perfect to drop in the school group, because I'm sure that there's other people out there that have the same questions. How do I hire a videographer? How do I hire a photographer? What kind of negotiation should I talk about? How much should it cost? And so it like breaks everything down and gives a full explanation of like, you should be getting a 1-minute sizzle reel. You should be getting, this, and this. They should provide this. They should tell you where, is it going to be in Dropbox? Is it going to be in a G Drive? How are you going to receive the deliverables? When will the deliverables be available? I hate when videographers tell you, oh, it's going to be fine. It'll be 48 hours. And I'm like, bullshit. It's not going to be 48 hours. You and I both know it's going to be like a week.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's spell it out completely, right? Let's spell it out so that I know exactly what to expect. Anyway, so stuff like that, I drop into the school group, create a guide, drop it into the school group. And now I know that at least somebody's gonna, I know the client used it because I already talked to them, but it's good to have that information in there. And it's school groups are interesting. Any community group, I just don't want to focus on school. Any community group is as valuable as you make it.
True. And of course you want the value is not just in what is being put into it by the creator, but it's also in the engagement, right? It's in the conversations. It's you're also not, because it's focused, right? You're focused on a certain topic per se, that you have a better retention of your members, because the members are all discussing the same things,
Right.
right? And the information, they're not, could they get it somewhere else? I mean,
But they trust
they're,
you.
they do, and that's, you're building that trust, right? But and the community itself is building that trust. But the reason for the retention is because, again, those wins are celebrated. The discussions are specific. The information is what they are desiring and wanting from an expert, right? Somebody who's been in the game, somebody who's been doing this for a while, right? Regardless of the topic, doesn't really matter. But that's what they're trying to do, right? And so that the members are vested.
Mm.
They're vested in.
They have a vested interest in the group. Yep. And to see it succeed as well.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think the reason why people don't start these community groups or these school groups is because they think that they need to have an entire library of content ready to go. And that's not true. You don't have to have 500 videos. You don't have to have, 100 courses. You don't have to have this huge content library, because what people want is they want clear direction when it comes to their groups. They want quick wins, they want support, and they want accountability. So some of the things that you could do inside of a school group is you could have weekly live coaching, right? You can have monthly workshops. You can offer templates. I know for a lot of people that we work with, SOPs are super important, right?
Yes.
If you don't know what an SOP is, it's a standard operating procedure. And also the reason why, I don't know if you noticed I was giggling, I realized that I touched the back of my head, then I touched my nose, and then I adjusted my shirt. I'm like, I look like a friggin' crackhead. Smoking.
You've been eating corn again.
Hector, no. No. Oh my God. Okay. Have office hours. I'm looking forward to bringing into our school group, bringing in guest experts, right? Like, I can't wait to bring in, and there's people I still need to ask, but bringing in a PR representative and asking, how do we get earned media? What's the best way to build relationships? Bringing in somebody who knows Go High Level to an expert level. Web dev, code, AI, bringing people in, because that's all part of the whole marketing process right now. It's not just
CMO, right? So that we talk about those, what a chief marketing officer is and how it can benefit you, because not everybody really understands that role in the business. And so even if you're just starting, right? Even if you just, are starting your own office, should you look at a fractional CMO? Right? Do you need a full-time CMO? Those kinds of questions, and those experts are definitely beneficial to our group.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. Because there's lots of times that I get asked. Well, just yesterday, I got asked, "Who do you know in PR?" And I was just like, there was a couple names that I could think of. And so I gave one name, and then I asked somebody, actually I asked Deb Hazel, I emailed her. I was like, hey, do you have any recommendations for a PR person? And she emailed me back and she goes, me. And I was like, well, I know you do PR, but I thought you only worked for a certain company. But she doesn't just work for that company. She also has her own PR business. So if you're looking for somebody that does PR, Deb Hazel, give her shout out to Deb, because I was just like, I know that. I know you do PR, but I don't know.
I you did it for others as well.
Yeah. So of course I'll make that connection, but it was just kind of funny, right? Because I know people who do certain things. And so being able to bring people into a group and share that expertise is going to be super important. So one of the ways that you can, now, so you want to start a school group, you've identified what you're going to do. You realize that you can start it without having all of this stuff built up. How do you get people in there? Well, one, you can talk about it like we talk about it. But the methodology that we're currently using right now is we're doing webinars, right? So I host a monthly webinar where I talk about marketing, AI, social media. We've gone over LinkedIn, we've gone over agentic search, and now we're transitioning where all of those free assets, including the replay of the webinar, lives inside the Skool group. So any assets that we created that we give away during the live workshop, they live in the Skool group, and then the actual replay lives in the Skool group. So that's how we're actively growing that group. Now it's free, right? I don't have a paid tier at this time. Eventually we will have a paid tier, but I want community. I want to grow this group so that I can have these conversations with people and talk about like more than what we're able to talk about on this show. But you need to identify who your group is for, what problem you're solving, and why it's different than any other group out there. And I think if you can do that before you start your Skool group, it's super important, right? We have already established who our target market is. We've already established who we talk to. But my Skool group isn't just for commercial real estate brokers. It's for other marketers. It's for people who are just starting out, right? There's so much information that you learn over years and years of doing this that, I can impart onto somebody else. And to me, it's fun growing communities.
So what are mistakes? What shouldn't people do to get this going? There's a lot of things that Skool group or potential groups.
Now let me say, we've made these mistakes.
Yes,
we 100% have made these mistakes. So this is coming from personal experience on what not to do. So one of the biggest things is that you cannot not put an onboarding process in there. You need to have an onboarding process in your group so people understand that. You need to have a welcome process. You need to have an engagement plan and live interaction. Super important. If you don't have that availability in your group, so it's not just, I guess what I'm saying is starting something like this isn't just like, oh, I'm just going to go do it. There has to be some planning and there has to be some forethought. But we have made these mistakes with our Skool group, and it's frustrating because you can see the potential and you can see how good it could be. And one of the challenges that I had in the beginning with our group is the fact that a lot of it fell on my shoulders, and I'm already doing a lot of stuff. And so the Skool group was kind of just like, okay, yes, I know I need to get in there. I know I need to do stuff, but it was the last thing in my mind. Now that I put Skool on my phone, surprisingly enough, just that little switch, just that little change made it a lot easier for me to be interactive in the groups that I'm already involved in. For a long time, I just had it on desktop, and it's just a tab that sits there. And so I would see it and I would recognize it and be like, oh, I need to go in there and post. And then I wouldn't at all. But now that I have it on my phone, it's like, okay, check Skool group. What's going on in Skool, right? So it was just that little switch of going from desktop to mobile that made it a lot easier for me. But, you definitely need to have an onboarding process. You need to have a welcome process. You need to have an engagement plan. And that includes, are you going to do workshops? Are you going to do open office hours? Will you have an ask me anything, right? It does take a little bit of planning. And
so what you're saying is that you need to have a strategy built for it. You just can't wing it.
Oh, come on. We like winging it.
We do. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out.
We do like winging it. And then we're like, shit, that didn't work.
Occasionally it works out, but the majority of the time it kind of fails.
Yeah, winging it. Well, I mean, sometimes it works. But yeah, you're right. I was going through my head trying to think about like, when has it ever really worked out for us? I don't think it ever has.
I'm still
So,
thinking.
yeah, I communities can be monetized, but you have to have a plan. And yes, AI can help you build your community group. It can help you
Oh,
build
great.
your whatever it is that you're doing. But it shouldn't take the place of you at all.
No,
And we
no,
say
no.
that with everything, right?
Yeah, no. AI, you should use it for ideation, right? For your school group. Like what kind of what kind of workshop should I be doing for this month, right? You can build out a full year of workshops through AI, just getting the ideas and helping it build out those workshops. But overall, no, AI is not going to replace. And that's the other good thing about the groups is that it's not AI. It is
Right.
human interaction at all levels, from the creator of the group all the way to the community members. Right? It's all about real interaction.
I think one of the things I like about it too is that like we had somebody that tried to get into our group recently, and I looked at their profile and they're affiliate marketer. I don't want affiliate marketers in my group. And there's a reason why. Because I know affiliate marketers, I've been around the block a couple times, and you're just going to be spamming my group with all your bullshit. So I don't want to deal with that, right? So
Right.
you can look at people's profiles and be like, okay, yep, nope, this person is not a good fit for this group. This person is, right? So it's using that available tools that they give you to say like, and then the other thing too is you can see what other groups that they're involved in. And that was
That's true.
another reason why I decided not to have that affiliate marketer, because they were involved in all these affiliate marketing groups. And I was just like, no, you're just going to be in here spamming, sending your code, all this stuff. And I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
But back to AI, I like using AI. I take our conversations that we have with clients and I'm like, okay, what was the big question here? What was the big ask? What's the concern? And then how can I take that and apply it to what we do in the marketing ecosystem? Does it have to do with email marketing? Does it have to do with social? Does it have to do with websites and CRMs? Ooh, exciting. Yay, Alan. That's so exciting.
Congratulations. That's going to be amazing.
Yes, that is. I'm so excited for you. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be, it's going to be the ability to monetize your following if you have a following on social. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. We have a lot of
No.
people out here who give away a lot of information and they don't ask for anything in return. And you can still have that, you can still have that in the Skool community. But if you want to take it a step further and be like, okay, yeah, I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you what it takes to get there. But I'm not going to do it for free. So, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
You don't want to get a cup of coffee?
I'm mentally flipping you off in my head right now.
I'll buy you a cup of coffee. Tell me what you know.
Pick my brain. Can I pick your brain? Yeah, that's, I've talked about this before, and a community with 100 active engaged members is worth 10 times the amount of having, 10,000 followers on social media that might interact with you. I love the idea of community. I love the idea of building a group, a network of like-minded individuals, all wanting to learn, all wanting to get together and be better. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
No, and here's the other thing about that though. There's some cross germination, right? what you talk about on social will eventually end up on, like you were saying, you can get some ideas from here and then put it into the group, or it can go from the group back over to your socials. So you're growing not just the community, but you're also growing your socials, right? You're expanding that network. And I don't think a lot of people see it that way, but I do see that if you're in a group, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna, if you're interacting with within the group, and there's specific people that you are talking with a lot, you're gonna, you're on your socials as well. You're gonna look for them, and then you're
Yep.
gonna interact with them there, and they're gonna interact with you. So again, it does help not just the community, but it also helps you in building your social, and those algorithms love it.
They do. They do. I guess if you're going to take anything away from this, because we're coming up on time, and you're going to start a school group, make sure that you have a good onboarding process, a good welcome process. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And that you have an engagement plan, and you are willing to go live. You're willing to either do workshops or go live in your group. That is, those are probably the 4 main things that I would talk about that need to be discussed, and you need to have a plan going forward. And for the most part, you can find out, you can YouTube it. There's so much stuff you can do to start a successful school group. And
I think also you can't ignore or forget that you have to put the time in, and so you have to schedule your time to be in the group, but
right.
also to build out these assets, right? So it is another part of your time that you're having to be willing to do.
Right. Yeah, it is. That's another great point. You need to have time to build out the assets. I think starting a school group, if you have a niche specialty or you have something that you can share that you want to monetize, is a good thing. If I had 1,000 members paying me $10 a month, I mean, hell, I wouldn't sneeze at that. Okay. I'm just saying. No. I wouldn't sneeze at that at all. And there's some people in these groups, like, I know a lady who does, she does crafting. She does laser cutout stuff. And she has 2 separate groups. One of them is like $27 a month. The other one, I think, is like $49 a month. She caps the amount of people that she has in each group, but she's making between $30,000 and $40,000 a month. $30,000 and $40,000 a month
from those groups. That's not bad.
Again, I would not sneeze at it at all. I mean, she's fabulous and is amazing at what she does. But again, like, I wouldn't sneeze at it. So if you guys have questions about starting a school group, hit either me or Hector up in DMs. If you want to join our Social Mastery VIP school group, the thing is scrolling down at the bottom. The thing. Yeah, the thing is skool.com/social mastery VIP. It is free, and we have our latest workshop in there, which was the AI workshop. Anyway, we will see you guys back here on Thursday for another Social Surge. For joining us this morning, and happy Tuesday to you all. We'll see you later.
Pack it up, pack it in, let the surge begin. We take your socials up, we're built to win. Busy closing deals, running business all day.